Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And there's Porter at you. I'm going to give you some footage of the Melina Boulevard. This is probably a little over 30 years old. Lately, there's been a lot of talk about them cutting down the trees with the silver ribbons on there, and there's quite a few of them if you walk down the whole Melina Boulevard. But the biggest question that was being raised over the years, what happened to all the money that was allocated by the state and the city to fix and maintain this area over the last 30 years? Because it doesn't look like that money was spent to maintain in this area. And as you can see, we have eroding turf. We have cracks in the asphalt. We have branches that have fallen that has not been picked up. Now these branches been here the whole season. Now there's a tree over there that looks like it's never been maintained properly. There's a whole lot more, but I just want to give you guys some brief footage of how this area has been looking over the last 30 years. And nobody's been maintaining it at all. That right there is the safety hazard. The city and state shares responsibility maintaining this area, and we have yet to see anyone really maintain this properly. Look at this over here. All the turf is like torn up. And this was a big talk because they want to extend the bike lane, but they have never maintained the bike lane that they already had. And there was two talks about having a two-way bike lane on one side or having a bike lane on the other side over there. But if you can't maintain what you already have, what makes you think you're going to maintain something new that you are going to currently install or plan to install in the future? Which, you know, they always give us lip service. That's the biggest problem. They say a lot of stuff, but they don't do anything. It's been going on for quite a while. Not maintaining. If this area was maintained properly, they probably wouldn't have these conditions already. Look at this. This is supposed to be grass. This is not grass. This looks like just dirt. Now the shifting of the sidewalks, a lot of it's from the tree roots and stuff like that. But one proposal would be just elevate the sidewalk and go over those roots, and they should work fine. Save Melina's trees. And I've been speaking to Yvonne. She's been very active on trying to save the trees. Now I want to show you the other area across the street as well. Once these cars all pass by, I want to show you an area that has never been maintained for quite some time. Take a quick walk over here.
Very much good long, health, and happy retirement, and we thank you for your service. Boston Operations, all channel 1610.
16. Alright, so if you look over here, there's an area, this area here that has not been maintained. I'll say a few years, because this is not just 1 year of stuff. Even that tree right there, which is not even on the actual property, have a tag on it. But look at this. We have this right here. It looks like a car ran into. Let's take a look at this, what we have here. I don't know if you could take one. It says take one, but I don't think you could take one out of there. If you could, I'm not too sure how you take it out. But let's give you guys some all these branches and stuff over here. They've been like laying here for a few years. It's not like 1 year or 2 years. This is a few years of these brushes just laying here. These branches, I should say. And it's not been maintained. I remember at one point this used to be grass. It used to be grass, but not anymore. Oh, this is just stuff that's been thrown and left here. Now, if the mayor wanted to make the city look good, why don't he maintain what he has already? But he doesn't care. That's the whole problem. And Marty Walsh definitely knows about it. He's got calls to 311. He's got complaints. No sense of calling him anymore because he doesn't return your. They made it clear that he doesn't return your phone calls. So when you have a mayor that does not return your phone calls, that's a mayor that doesn't care. Now, if you don't care for us, then why should we care about you? And you leave our city in ruins while you go to the White House to hide your corruption. That's what you do. And that's what politicians do. They leave one office to go to another office to run away from the corruption that they started in the first office. And it's a known fact that most politicians are criminals. That's a known fact. Some get caught and some don't get caught. But ultimately, when you hold a political office, you're involved with some kind of corruption one way or another. But 2021 is going to be a year of exposing a lot of that corruption with the city of Boston, the ISD department, how they steal people's houses, and the funds that are mismanaged throughout the city of Boston. And there's other stuff, I don't want to say all of it, but there's other stuff out there that people need to know about. Eventually it's going to get exposed though. Look at this area. This does not look like it's been well kept at all.
Bravo 415 days, clear with the office.
It looks like every time a tree falls or a branch falls, all they do is just throw it in this area right here and leave it. Never gets picked up, never gets cleaned up. It just gets left and forgotten. Now, if Marty Walsh knows about this, why is he not doing something about it? If he cares about his city so much. I wanted to address him at the state of the city, but I didn't want to conduct that business at that time. But if I would have said something to him at that time, I would be considered it being rude. Because then they say, when's the proper time to talk to him if he don't want to speak to you? There is no proper time to speak to him because he doesn't want to speak to you. So if somebody like outbursts while he's doing a public address, we're considered being rude because we have concerns that need to be addressed. We've been talking about Marty Walsh for the last 3.5 years, I believe, about cleaning up methadone mile. him and Charlie Baker refused to answer any calls or even answer any questions or concerns about those matters. So, look, we got a deteriorating area that has not been maintained. If you tell me that you maintained this in the last year or so, then I would like to know where's the money spent. I would like to see the money spent on this. That's a tree that's leaning against another tree. It's been sitting there for quite a while. Before the spring, before the summer, that's a bus stop sign. And that's been laying there for quite some time. That's a bus stop sign. So, and I already put the city of Boston on notice. I said, if you want to see stuff that needs to be fixed up, watch my YouTube channel. And I know they do watch it, but they don't care. Look at this. And you call this a city that we're supposed to be grateful for?
Attention all officers, the Boston Police Department would recognize and congratulate Officer Dennis Fitzpatrick from A7, who will be retiring after having provided 35 years of exemplary service to the citizens of Boston. We wish you long and healthy retirement, sir, and many years of health. We thank you for your service. Boston Operations All Channel 1618.
And the only reason why this area right here is clean because Madison Park Village cleans this area. There's supposed to be a task force that goes around and covers those up. Ever since there was a string of dogs getting electrocuted by those poles, there's supposed to be a task force through the City of Boston Public Works checking all those covers on a regular basis, which I don't see them doing. There's more than...
982, I will be on for the first half, ma'am.
There's a lot more of those out there than you know.
I have it.
Kilo 424 is Ocean R.
How's it going?
Like I said, all this area here needs to be maintained. It hasn't been maintained in several years. So the question is, if it hasn't been maintained in several years, where's all the money that was set aside for this?
113, 669 Walk Hill at the Zippo home for DK mail outside. It says he's not supposed to be there because of COVID. I inquired if the call taker if this person had COVID, but no, it's Zippo's protocol, nobody can commit because he's locked down.
We're on our way.
This area, as far as I know, has not been maintained in the last 3 years. It might be longer than that, but I know the last 3 years I've been keeping an eye on it, and no one's been maintaining anything over here. Every once in a while, they used to have the members of the Community Works Program, which is CWP for the Sheriff's Department, come out here and clean. And I haven't seen them out here recently. And they used to have the trial court services come out here, the people who are doing community service. But I haven't seen them come out here recently either. And even when they did come out here, they were only removing the light debris. They weren't doing any major work.
Ma'am, just remind the day officers that before they have to wait until the first half officers come to relieve them. Just Don't accept any Ocean Frank till we get someone focused along there.
Look at this area here. This looks pretty rough.
Get D4 units. You're reminded not to Ocean Frank and do not release until first.
Even the asphalt is in deplorable condition. The asphalt's in a pretty rough shape. I don't know what they plan on doing, but if you can't maintain what you already have, then why should you try to get something new? Just so you can waste more money for nothing.
Operation turn Charlie PS. Charlie PS to 75 Nelson Street.
Charlie 906 Ocean, or what's that location, ma'am?
75 Nelson Street, Sarge.
What's that call for?
Was initially a domestic. The grandson assaulted a grandmother and then requested a site eval as well. 75 Nelson.
Alright, Nelson 03 Frank, Ocean, or?
Yes, sir.
That's a watch on this.
Charlie 115, you're to 669 Walk Hill Street. Zip over wall.
Just want to give you guys some footage of this guy been over here for a while. He built it started small and he started making it bigger and bigger. So he's been there for a couple of years now. And as you can see, he just gets like old tree branches and built his little hut over there. Tell me this stuff, all this stuff got here in 1 year, then you either think somebody's stupid or crazy, or both. There's no way all this stuff got here in 1 year. And if they did it in the fall, like they're supposed to, there's no way these leaves would be on the ground right now. These leaves would not be on the ground.
She's been calling all day long. Now she showed up there.
Look at this mess.
145 Boulevard.
This is where Boston police, they're gearing up for like a little protest later on. I might head down there too to see what's going on with them. We'll see. They have something planned for
Charlie
that.
903, Ocean Nora, good afternoon.
Charlie 903, good afternoon.
These guys gonna have a busy week. Very, very busy week for sure.
Charlie 431, Frank is Ocean Nora. And when you have a moment, can you log off the 415 days, please?
I have it in 431, since you're on. I've already given it to state, but can you stop to Morton and Norfolk for an accident, SUV versus a motorcycle?
I have it.
And again, state's been notified. Release the paper.
Alright guys, I figure I'd give you some footage of Melina Cast and how bad they are maintaining it. And they are doing a very, how you say, bad job maintaining such. And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but this is what is left of the Whittier Street housing development. I always called it the Ruggles Street apartments or Ruggles Street projects, but this is known as Whittier Street apartments. Some people call it Ruggles projects, but this is pretty much the this is the how you call it, the last of it right here. They're pretty much taking it all down, and they're building. Let me show you what they're doing. And this is all through the city of Boston. The city of Boston okays it, gives them authorization to do it. They have it in the planning board and all that stuff. A lot of these meetings are what you call behind closed doors, so the public has no knowledge of what they're doing until after they start doing it. And then very few people that do know about it don't say nothing about it. So when you see, like, you know, this right here is basically the people who are supporting this kind of activity. But I don't know, a lot of these are not really low income housing. Like they usually make a certain portion low income, and then the other part is not, and then they eventually phase it all out. So
Charlie 411, you can show me Ocean Nora. Can you log
and this
off
is
the
the it has Marty Walsh's name all over it. See how they say new mixed income residential? So they're saying 52 new residential units, 48 income restricted units. So that's what they're doing. They kind of phase it in. But eventually what happens though, over a few years, they try to get rid of the fixed income restricted ones. They don't tell you that part. They secretly, that's how these investors are in bed with the city of Boston. They make this promise of 52. If you notice, the higher number is 52 of new rental units, and those are probably going to be market rate or higher. And then the 48 in parentheses is the income restricted units. The reason why they do the higher number, because the majority rules, and then eventually they phase out the lower income housing buildings altogether. It's a little trick that they use, but you'll see how they do it.
Bravo 802 Ocean Nora.
And Marty knows about this. Marty makes these. Marty's a union guy, remember? Marty's a union guy. He makes deals. And union people make, I don't know if you guys know it. I've been in the union before. They always have a secret deal behind the backs of the union that the union don't know about. So even though you say you represent the union, in reality you're still in bed with the people you work for. And Marty does not work for the city. He works for the investors. So he has a duty for the investors. And Matter of fact, anytime Marty sees me, he runs. There's a couple times I approached him, he ran the other way. He's just like Commissioner Gross. Commissioner Gross is a very ignorant and rude person. I can say that because I know it firsthand. Very, very ignorant and rude individual. They have no respect for the public whatsoever. So that's what they're doing. They're trying to turn them into semi-condos, we'll call it. Eventually, they probably will be condos. That's how they do it. Figure I'll give you guys some footage of what goes on in the city. Somebody told me this is the year to expose it all. They say hold back, no punches, have no fear. Expose all the wickedness. Either they're gonna like it or not like it, but they have to deal with it. And this is, and these guys are working on the Martin Luther King Day, so that's theoretically not even a holiday for them. This is what they got going on here. A full construction crew on the. How you doing? Keeping you busy, huh? Keeping you busy.
Yeah, bro.
As long as you don't work too hard. Hopefully they're paying you guys right. Are they paying you the right wages? I hope so. I would hate to them not be underpaying you guys. You doing all this work for them. That wouldn't be right, right?
What's that?
I said that wouldn't be right if they're underpaying you guys and you're doing all this work. Make sure you get that fair wage. Make sure they don't undercut you guys. Those of you who want to know about the building permits.
Só pega a serra aí, a grama e a